In this episode, we will discuss the prayer with jama'ah, congregation, and the rulings related to it. Performing all 5 daily prayers in congregation at the mosque is necessary, very important, for men in the Hanafi and Hanbali school, and an emphasized Sunnah in the Shafi'i Maliki school. The reason why I mention that is to highlight the importance of praying with congregation for men, since 50% of the schools of jurisprudence consider it not just emphasized Sunnah, but an obligation. Here in the US, where there are not always other Muslims and masajid nearby, I always encourage people to make it a habit to pray at least 1 or 2 prayers with the congregation in a day, like Fajr and Isha. These visits to the masajid to pray with our Muslim brothers are well worth the effort. The Prophet ﷺ told us about the 7 people who will be in Allah's shade on the day of judgment when there is no shade but His. One of those people mentioned in this hadith is a person whose heart is attached to the masjid, to the mosque. Scholars have mentioned that this attachment to the heart to the mosque, to the masajid, is due to the attachment to the heart to the prayer, since the prayer is in reality an intimate connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now moving on to the rulings for the prayer with jama'ah. Number 1, the follower should intend to follow the Imam. Number 2, the position of the Hanafi school is that the follower does not recite the Qur'an behind the Imam, regardless of the prayer being prayed. Now this may be confusing to some because normally people would like to recite Surah Al-Fatiha, but that's the Hanafi school. In the Shafi'i school, you must recite at least Surah Al-Fatiha behind the Imam. Number 3, the follower says the opening takbir, Allahu Akbar, then says the thana, Subhanakallahumma bihamdik wa tabaraka ismuk wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruk, and that's it. The follower does not recite anything after that. So no A'udhu Billah, no Bismillah, no Surah Fatiha. The follower stands and concentrate as much as possible. Then the follower says Ameen silently when the Imam finishes the Surah Fatiha, if it's a loudly salah, and he does not recite anything after that, so no verse is recited. Number 5, the follower says all the takbirs of movement, and we'll say it silently, with the Imam. So when it says Allahu Akbar for going into ruku', prostration, and coming up from the sujood. When coming up from ruku', only the Imam says Sami Allahu liman hamidah, and the follower says Allahumma Rabbana wa lakal hamd silently, or in a shorter version, Rabbana lakal hamd. Number 6, the follower recites all the tasbih, Subhana Rabbiyal A'la and Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, in both in the prostration and bowing, ruku and sujood. Number 7, the follower recites the tashahud, at-tahiyyat. Tashahud is sending salawats on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessings be upon him, and then the dua, and then salams with the Imam. All of these silently as well. Now let's look at the method of joining the group prayer, the jama'ah, as a latecomer. One makes the opening takbir while standing. Thereafter, one joins the Imam in whichever position the Imam is in, even if it means following the Imam in prostration or the final sitting. If one joined before or during the bowing position, ruku', in the first raka'ah of the prayer, then he caught the first raka'ah of the prayer, he does not need to make up anything when the Imam says the final salam. the condition is that the follower must meet the Imam completely in ruku' before the Imam moves to come up. So to meet the Imam into ruku' before the Imam comes up. And 4, if one joins before or during the bowing position, the ruku', in the second rak'ah of the prayer, then he caught the second rak'ah of the prayer. However, if he needs to make up the first rak'ah when the Imam says the final salam, in this case, he should not say the salam with the Imam and stand up right after the Imam says the second salam and pray the missed rak'ah on his own. The same applies to someone who joined the Imam in the third or fourth rak'ah of the prayer. If someone joined the Imam in the fourth rak'ah after the ruku', he should complete the prayer with the Imam until the end and then stand up after the Imam says the second salam. Then he should pray all 4 rak'ah as he would pray them on his own, meaning the first rak'ah, Fatiha and the surah in it, the second rak'ah with sitting and reading the tashahud, etc.